History has left us with numerous great mysteries over these thousands of years. While people could not solve most of those mysteries, new technologies have helped us solve some of them. Numerous people love great mysteries, and you might wonder what the actual secret of the Bermuda Triangle is, or the secret of the Easter Island Heads. But some of those mysteries aren't actually mysteries anymore, and investigators have figured out solutions to many of these puzzles. In this video, we will discuss 10 historical mysteries that investigators have now solved. Number 1. Sailing stones in Death Valley. You might have heard about the mysterious movements of large rocks in Death Valley in California. There are hundreds of trails from large rocks in Death Valley, which implies that stones are moving. However, no one has actually seen these rocks moving, and no one pushes them. Many wonder what causes these rocks to move, and several theories claim that these rocks might be the remains of a UFO crash, or some unseen hands move them. Well, scientists prove that there is no such supernatural thing that causes these mysterious movements. Although Death Valley is blisteringly hot during the summer season, a shallow lake is formed during the mild winter. At night, water freezes, which breaks into small plates of ice in the morning. The flowing water slowly pushes those heavy rocks in the winter, leaving a long trail of up to 224 meters in the mud. Number 2. How Egyptians built the pyramids. Many wonder how Egyptians built those huge pyramids when they didn't even have those heavy types of machinery to move massive stone blocks used in the construction of pyramids. Some also believe that aliens built those pyramids with some anti-gravity technology. Sounds interesting, right? But let me tell you that back in 2014, physicists from the University of Amsterdam analyzed an ancient tomb drawing and found that a large team of workers could haul those massive multi-ton blocks on a sled. They also discovered that workers could have poured water on the sand to reduce the impact of friction, which made it possible to drag the stone blocks to the pyramids. Moreover, some researchers also claimed that they used clay as a lubricant. So pyramids were actually built by humans, and aliens didn't make those giant pyramids in Egypt. Number 3. The mystery of King Richard's death. You have most probably heard about this famous villain in history, the English monarch King Richard III, who died in the Battle of Bosworth Field. Back in the year 1485, King Richard III met defeat and apparently died during the Battle of Bosworth Field. However, it was not known how he died or was actually killed in the battle until 2012. Under a parking lot in Leicester, England, an old grave was found in 2012, over 500 years after the death of Richard. And then, in a DNA test, it was confirmed that the bones discovered in that grave belonged to Richard. Moreover, researchers revealed in 2014 that he suffered 11 wounds, and due to the lack of defensive wounds on Richard's arms, researchers concluded that he might have lost his helmet during the war and was eventually killed. Number 4. The large graveyard of ancient whales in Chile. Back in the year 2011, researchers discovered a massive graveyard of ancient whales in the deserts of Chile. Although they knew that the Atacama Desert was covered by the Pacific Ocean nearly 2 million years ago, researchers wondered what actually caused a lot of whales to die in a similar spot. The actual cause remained a mystery until researchers found that these fossils were from different periods, and these whales didn't die at the same time. Later, paleobiologists explained that toxins from algal blooms might have caused the marine organism's death, and they were eventually buried in a tidal flat. Number 5. Death of male mammoths. Mammoths died millions of years ago, but scientists wondered why 70% of woolly mammoth remains discovered were male. This question remained unanswered until 2017, when scientists found that while the gender ratio between male mammoths and female mammoths was nearly equal at birth, this ratio skewed because of the hierarchy as well as the living arrangements of mammoths. Researchers say that they used to live in groups, which were led by an older matriarch. Male mammoths were kicked out when they reached adulthood, and only females with their young remained part of these groups. Males would engage in risk-taking behavior without the group support, and they were also more inclined to fall prey to natural death traps. Hence, the remains of these male mammoths were buried as well as protected from weathering, as opposed to females as well as other Ice Age animals. Number 6. The ancient Egyptian helicopter. Researchers have discovered numerous hieroglyphs of the ancient Egyptians, which have been a great source of puzzlement and mysteries to historians. We have also found the answer to several such hieroglyphs. One of the most amazing hieroglyphs of the Egyptians is that those people had helicopters, or they predicted the invention of helicopters. And when you look at those hieroglyphs, it actually seems something like a helicopter. However, did Egyptians actually know about the helicopter? Well, the answer is no. Researchers have determined by restoring the original hieroglyphs that such pictures of helicopters have been tweaked due to deterioration. And our brain tricks us into seeing the familiar images of helicopters. Moreover, Egyptologists claim that the actual translation is "he who repulses the nine." Number 7. The Bermuda Triangle. The Bermuda Triangle has remained a mysterious part of the Atlantic for centuries, which is infamous for swallowing airplanes as well as ships. Some sailors call it the Devil's Triangle, and researchers were unable to explain why ships and planes entered and were never seen again. Theories even claim that aliens capture humans for study. However, these are just theories, and there is nothing supernatural going on with the Bermuda Triangle. A pilot, Lawrence David Cush, reviewed the official reports on ships that disappeared in the Devil's Triangle and found that they usually sank in bad weather conditions. This area sees a lot of marine traffic, and since it is so busy, a lot of incidents would happen, and the Devil's Triangle has a number of hexagonal clouds that create air bombs of wind that damage the planes. Number 8. The Nazca Civilization. During the 1930s, Nazca became popular when the massive drawings on the Nazca Desert, Peru were discovered. Scientists wondered how the Nazca people created those massive white geoglyphs. Later, researchers found that the Nazca people had drawn long ropes to make the lines. Another question was why the Nazca Civilization vanished. Well, researchers from Cambridge University say that the Nazca people were wiped out because of severe drought, which resulted due to deforestation. Number 9. The death of Bruce Lee. You have most probably watched Bruce Lee in some martial arts movies. The superstar died mysteriously back in the year 1973 when he was only 32 years old. No one was able to conclude how Bruce actually died, and some theorized that an ancient curse was the cause of his death. However, it was revealed 46 years after his death that Bruce had an operation to remove sweat glands from his armpits. Several months after his operation, Lee was dubbing for Enter the Dragon when the air conditions were turned off. Bruce collapsed after 30 minutes since his ability to dissipate heat had been impacted due to the operation. So it was heat stroke that caused Bruce's death. Number 10. The missing couple in Switzerland. Back in 1942, a Swiss couple, Marcelin Dumoulin and Francine, went to a meadow near the village of Chandelin and never returned. It remained a mystery until the remains of this couple were found in 2017. Their bodies were frozen, and a shrinking glacier uncovered them. The identity of the Swiss couple were intact, and DNA tests also confirmed that these bodies belonged to Francine and Marcelin. Mysteries have puzzled researchers for a long time, and people like to read about such mysteries and watch shows about them. And while the technology has helped us solve some of those mysteries, numerous puzzles are yet to be solved. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share your thoughts on the puzzles in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to WizPal and press the bell icon so you will be notified every time a video is uploaded to WizPal.